Hello and welcome back to another video for Final Fantasy XIV with me, Meoni. Today we're looking at the patch notes for patch 7.11. If you're not interested in Ultimate, there are actually a few changes to PvP and some resolved issues, but aside from that, patch 7.11 does not actually hold any new main content for you. It is purely all about Ultimate today, and hopefully everybody has a nice stable connection who is taking part in that Ultimate race. I look forward to watching that on Twitch, and I really hope the best for anybody taking part. Have the best of times. So let's look at the patch notes for this then. As it says at the start, all of the other additional features you might be expecting do not come until other patches. For example, additional features implemented in future includes the new custom deliveries client, which will also be in 7.15, the Waku Meki Meki crafting and gathering quest, and Hildebrand will be in 7.15 as well. The Cloud of Darkness Chaotic is scheduled to be released 1 week after 7.15, which is actually on December the 24th, if I remember the schedule, and also additional role quests in January in patch 7.16. So pretty much, for now, it's just the Ultimate. So if we go down then, obviously we've got some new stuff, essentially New Game Plus. We got the role quest from Dawntrail's prologue. Obviously those are all added to New Game Plus if you wanted to go replay those if you've already done them. And obviously you need to complete Uncouth Customers to unlock that. Whatever that quest is. I can't remember what that quest is. Housing, there's new orchestra and roles, as you would imagine. New Ultimate means new orchestra and roles, new music, right? High-end Futures Rewritten Ultimate has been added. Obviously, this is high-end stuff. If you've ever seen an Ultimate race before at the start of content, it is very exciting. A lot of people today, throughout the week, hopefully it takes more than a day, although it probably won't, will be working on the Futures Rewritten, which is essentially Eden fights all mashed together with Reen and Gaia. You've probably seen it from a trailer. It looks very exciting. I can't wait to have a look at it myself. Hopefully our group looks at that in probably this week or the next week. It depends on what time we have. But yeah, essentially you need to have completed M4 Savage to be able to have access to this. So if you haven't cleared the tier on Savage currently, then you're going to have to do that before you will be able to get in there, obviously. And if you manage to clear it, you'll get totems, which you can exchange for some pretty awesome weapons, I would imagine. And we'll be able to go into the game later and look at the totem vendor to see what those look like. But I would imagine they're ice-related. I was going to say ice-flavored. Slushy flavored. But yeah, very excited to see what that looks like. And of course, if you know about Ultimates by now, you already know the drill of how it works. So let's move on then to PvP, because this has also been a new change. So they've made some changes to job actions. Now, of course, we are mid-season and series at the moment. So first of all, Paladin. The recast time has been increased from 20 to 24 seconds on Shield Smite. Imperator HP restored by Sacred Claim has been reduced from 4 to 3,000. Interesting, a little bit of a nerf there. And Holy Sheltron, barrier strength has been reduced from a heal potency of 10,000 to 8,000. And they say the unaspected damage dealt to nearby enemies when the effect expires has been increased from 100% of the remaining barrier potency to 150. So less defensiveness, more damage from Holy Sheltron, less HP restored from Imperator, and Shield Smite has basically been nerfed by 4 seconds. Interesting. Paladins are certainly tanky, but I didn't think they were that bad, personally. Warriors Onslaught potency has been increased from 400 to 4,000 to 500 to 5,000, so quite a significant jump there of one scale. Orogeny HP consumed when executed has been reduced from 20% to 10%. That's surprising. Okay, that's quite a good buff. And potency has been increased from 800 to 8,000 to 1,000 to 10,000. So warriors have got quite a significant potency buff there. I mean, these are all just potency buffs, but I'm surprised. Warriors are pretty strong in PvP all the same, so I'm surprised on that. Monk wins reply. Recast time has been reduced from 20 to 16 seconds. Nice little tiny buff there for Monk. Samurai then Meikyo Shitsui, the effect duration has been reduced from 4 to 3 seconds. Tendo Setsugeka range has been increased from 5 to 8 yards. Wow, really? And Tendo Keishi Setsugeka range has been increased from 5 to 8 yards. Very small buffs here for those two. Shisui reduction on the effect, it's very minor. I'm surprised they get more range though. That's surprising. Samurai are currently very strong in PvP, if you've played any. Viper then, Blood Coil. Recast time has been reduced from 16 to 12 seconds. Wow. Twin Fang Bite, potency by 1,000. In fact, Twin Fang Bite, Twin Blood Bite, Uncoiled Twin Fang, and Uncoiled Twin Blood all get 1,000 potency increase from 3,000 potency to 4,000. So that's quite a significant buff to Viper. I'm surprised at that as well. The Vipers do quite well in PvP from what I've seen. Probably not at high rankings, but especially in bronze and silver, I've seen people do well. Machinist then, Wildfire. The number of attack actions needed to cause the pitch to detonate immediately has been reduced from 5 to 4. And potency for each attack action landed has been increased from 3,000 to 4,000. Nice little buff. Full Metal Field recast time has been reduced from 40 to 32 seconds. So, interesting. More defensives, more damage. Black Mage, Wreath of Fire. Additional damage potencies increased to, from 4,000 to 4,500. Flare Star potencies increased to 18,000 from 16,000, with its damage over time duration increased from 6 to 9 seconds. That's quite nice. Summoner then, Crimson Cyclone, so another from 4,000 to 6,000 potency increase. Necrotize, recast time has been reduced from 12 to 10 seconds. So it looks like everybody's getting buffed, surprisingly, or at least all the casters, and ranged. Red Mage then, Embolden in PvP, increase to damage dealt has been reduced from 10 to 8%. And a reduction to damage taken has been reduced from 10 to 8%. Okay. Displacement, increase to damage and healing potency for the next spellcast has been reduced from 20 to 15%. And Profulgence, the potency has been reduced from 12,000 to 10,000, with a healing potency on self reduced from 12 to 10,000, and a healing potency on party members has been reduced from 12 to 10,000. This is interesting because I have noticed that red mages are doing a lot of healing, surprisingly, and they're very defensive. So maybe this will bridge the gap a little bit. I'm glad they've looked at red mage. Pictomancer then, we've got a whole lot of changes. The majority of them are the same. All of your motifs have changed, with their cast time reduced from 2.5 to 2 seconds. And the recast time has been reduced from 3.5 to 3 seconds. So they've just cut the 5 off the 0.5 to be a solid number, 2 and 3 seconds. Very cool. And then we've got the Muses, a similar thing. Recast time reduced from 20 to 16 seconds. So we'll have more things up marginally quicker than we did before, which is nice. And then finally, the only other change is Astro. Gravity 2, heavy effect duration's been reduced from 3 to 2 seconds. That's pretty nice because I can't stand heavy. And Gravity 2, when executed after double cast, reduced duration on heavy from 5 to 3 seconds. Macrocosmos, potency has been reduced from 12 to 10,000. And the healing potency granted upon execution of Macrocosmos has been reduced from 6,000 to 5,000, plus the compiled 25% of damage taken. Okay, that's interesting. That's yeah, I mean, it's only 2,000 potency, but that's quite significant. Epicycle, the barrier strength been reduced from a heal potency of 8,000 to 6,000. Ooh, a 2,000 nerf. Interesting on the barrier. Lady of Crowns, healing potency has been reduced from 8 to 6 grand, and Crowns also has been changed to 6,000 potency from 8,000. So Astro, a little bit of a nerf there. Across the board, I'm surprised there's no mention of Dragoon changes or anything else, but I'm glad for a few of these. I'm surprised at Samurai's little buffs. Red Mage surprises me that they've actually addressed that. and the Astro one's quite interesting. So we'll see how it plays in the season. But again, so far so good. I haven't really been into ranked much yet, but it's been quite enjoyable. But there's been some significant changes this season. So yeah, the following adjustments have also been made to Black Mage. The cast time of applicable actions has been reduced, this is in PvP by the way, from 1.44 to 132 seconds. Really? Okay. And the spell recast time has been reduced from 2.4 to 2.2 seconds. Okay, so that bridges the gap of, you know, probably trying to cast something and then, you know, not getting it off. So we'll see how that plays. New items have been added. Obviously, that includes everything to do with the ultimate, the new weapons, etc., totems, you know, all that stuff. New items in exchange for achievement certificates have been added. That's surprising. Although, I'm not sure what this entails. This might also be to do with ultimate, but I don't think so. So we'll have to see what achievement certificates can be exchanged when the patch goes live. Interesting. New achievements and titles have been added, and new music and sound effects. So obviously, you know, futures rewritten. So there are the resolved issues. So things that have been fixed, so we might as well look at these. So there was an issue with the Alliance Raid Juno, the first walk, wherein the area name would not display properly on the map under certain conditions. So a visual bug. An issue with the Duty Finder when undertaking the Alliance Raid Juno, the first walk, wherein gear wasn't included in the rewards already received count. Oh, really? So you could get more than one piece per week, or... an issue with the Trial Minstrel's Ballad's Fiend's Burden, wherein under certain conditions players would become incapacitated when the effect of gravitational anomaly expired. Okay. An issue when playing a summoner or scholar, wherein under certain conditions executing pet actions would reset the recast time of the pet action executed. That's interesting. There was an issue with the ninja PvP action Hyosho Haaranyu, wherein the timing at which damage was inflicted was incorrect. Yeah, they messed around with the timings of a lot of PvP skills, the way that it felt. It's going to take a while to get used to that, and as you saw with a lot of the changes above in the PvP section, a lot of that's going to come down to how things feel, and if there's much of a delay on certain abilities, how impactful things feel. Based on you casting something and the person taking damage. So it's going to take a while to get used to that, and for them to also learn the perfect threshold for that. So it's not surprising there'd be bugs. There was an issue when playing Astrologian, wherein the PvP action Macrocosmos would erroneously change to Microcosmos when the player was granted Macrocosmos by a party member. That's interesting. Weird little bugs. An issue in Crystalline Conflict, wherein the PvP action Guard would not negate launch or knockback effects. Wow, really? While reducing damage that normally cannot be reduced in the following stages: Cloud9, Clockwork, Castletown, and the Red Sands. That's really odd, isn't it? That's really odd. There was another ninja PvP problem called Aeolian Edge Combo, wherein Fleeting Raiju was prioritized over Assassinate when the action changed. I don't play ninja, so I don't understand that personally, so let me know. An issue wherein the descriptions of the PvP actions Gnashing Fang, Communio, and Doton were incorrect. It was just text. There was an issue with Reaper PvP action Perfectio on the Wolves Den Pier, wherein the following action effects were nullified: Undead Redemption, Hallowed Ground, and Mesotes. Oh, interesting. But that was just on the Wolves Den Pier, though. An issue wherein dyes were not applied to the correct portions of the Oasis du Bois. Oh, really? I didn't notice that, but I've not messed around with the Oasis stuff in a while. So this is outside of PvP. An issue existed wherein the Sea Fade interior wall could be erroneously obtained via quick exploration ventures. That's surprising. There was an issue when furnishings due to be implemented in 7.15 were erroneously available to preview. Oh, cool. So a lot of people also commented, what are these items? How do I get them on the furnishing preview thing? That's probably why. We're going to wait a few more weeks. An issue with private chambers in free company estates wherein maximum storeroom capacity was displayed incorrectly. That's annoying. There was an issue with subaquatic voyages wherein the amount of materials obtained from sectors newly added in 7.1 was lower than intended. Okay. An issue in Eastern Thanalan. Here we go. This is the big one. I don't know if you read about this. There was an issue in Eastern Thanalan wherein players were unable to fish and certain water-related effects and animations did not display correctly. I wish I'd gone and recorded this myself, but prior to today, there was some really weird things going on with the water. There was like weird collision detection and you could kind of like walk on the top of the water at the same time as swimming. It was glitching. The entirety of fishing was broken. The reason for this, and we need to look at this in a future video actually, but I wanted to wait until they fixed it. A lot of the 2.0 areas, don't know why I said 1.0, that game's gone. A lot of the 2.0 areas were overhauled with the new vegetation and graphic changes and particle density of clutter objects. So we're going to have to do a bit of a tour, but I wanted to wait until they'd fix this. But yeah, fishing was broken in Eastern Thanalan, which was quite annoying but entertaining at the same time. You never know what changes in a patch. A patch comes out and it breaks something completely unrelated, like fishing in Thanalan. There was an issue wherein status effects were not displayed in the spearfishing window. That's annoying. I don't know how you track that. An issue with the hunt wherein players were unable to exchange more than 100 of any given currency at once. Oh, I didn't know that. There was an issue with the Mogpendium wherein rewards for weekly objectives, mini-mog challenges, and ulti-mog challenges were unobtainable. The weekly objective, mini-mog challenge, and ulti-mog challenge rewards will be obtainable until the release of 7.15. So if you are confused why you weren't able to get any of those, they should have fixed it, hopefully. There's an issue when playing without joining a party wherein the text command placeholder (1) end brackets could not be used. Okay. An issue when using DualShock 4 controllers wherein the wireless connection became unstable under certain conditions. So this is something that plagued a lot of people. People are using DualShock 4 controllers. Still, many of us use controllers for the game, it seems. Like the old DualShock 4 from PS4 sort of era. And whatever happened, it basically caused massive connection issues. So it looks like they've got more on this issue if we click the link. There was a Lodestone post about this as well. But yeah. And then finally, an issue wherein data center selection was occasionally unavailable when selecting data center from the title screen and opening the data center selection window. Okay, and there are other various issues also have been addressed. It's likely if they've not been mentioned here, they were game breaking and they don't want you to know about them. So that's, fine. There is currently then a known issue when using the Black Mage PvP action Reef of Fire when executing fire and its subsequent permutations wherein the action's effect is occasionally not visible to the player. This is purely visual and does not affect the functionality. So if you're in PvP today and you use Reef of Fire when executing fire and it looks like everything else becomes invisible, you are still casting, you are still doing damage, but apparently it's invisible damage. So yeah, that seems to be the only major bug today that we know of. I'm sure there'll be issues, but it's looking good for Eden. Honestly, I'm hoping people have a smooth experience. And obviously, there's all of the new items, which is the ultimate weapons, which are the ultimate Eden Morn stuff. And we've also got the Oracle Totem. That's what it's called, symbol of the Oracles of Light and Darkness. Very cool. And then we've got Return to Oblivion, Scions of Sinners band music. If that obviously drops. And a Sundering of Light orchestra and roll. Very nice. Very cool. And that's the patch 7.11 notes. Again, nothing too major. I just wanted to make sure we went through the PvP changes. It's always interesting to see how they react based on, the season and series PvP that's currently on. If you're looking forward to getting any of your rewards and, of course, the outfit from rank 25 of your series, definitely go in there and try out some PvP. But I wish everybody who's taking part in the Ultimate Futures Rewritten the best of luck, and hopefully I can join you at some point soon when our group gets there. But we've cleared the tier. It's just getting people together to actually do the content. Anyway, much love. I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.